talking food related recovery addictions. And so your name came up. So,
well, thank you.
yeah. Welcome everyone coming on. That's great. Glad to see Shannon. Hi, Angie. Both Shannons. It's nice to have the officers here. I had felt abandoned the past few months, so nice to have everybody back on board.
She guilted us.
Well, I am going to start to keep everybody's time, honor everybody's time. Just to let you know, welcome to Human Services Council 2023. This is very exciting. I will be acting as president. I hope that past presidents still come on. They're very needed and necessary and a great resource for us. And so we want to keep them on board. Courtney is going to be our vice president. Jessica Jackson is doing our programming, and then Shannon Tarkowski is our secretary, meaning that anything that's going out to the group will be sent through her, besides our reminders about meetings. So Shannon, will you put your email in the chat so everybody can have that? If you have flyers or anything you want sent out, please funnel those her way. That way we're not getting mass emails from all over and sending each other the same thing over and over again. Excuse me. So
Don't ask me to take notes, okay?
do you want to take notes?
No, don't ask me to take notes.
Okay, no,
Okay.
we're recording, so we're good. And with that, we are recording. We will put Angi Chasensky has been nice enough to take our recordings, put them on the ROSC YouTube page, and then a link will be sent out through Courtney this year, having the recording. And she will also be sending you the chat. We do take out anything personal out of the chat, but anything with your email or information that will be sent to the group. So if you have anything and you think you're going to have to hop off, you can put that in the chat, and that will be given out to everybody, even the people that aren't here. It'll be sent out to that email group of over 100 people. So thank you for coming. And I want to introduce and want you to get to know better Courtney. She is our new vice president, has really hopped on, helped me to really define a lot of things and get my thoughts in order about moving forward with the council. I am so glad, so relieved, and very blessed to have her helping me in this effort. Please, we would value any ideas, critiques. We take public positive feedback, negative, but stated positively, please. Things that you want to, any changes you think that would be positive to make. I'm more than willing to listen to any of that. And any suggestions to make this better. Having the recording was a suggestion that was given a couple of years ago, and I think it's made a huge difference for us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our new vice president, Courtney, and she is also the owner of the Healing Collective. Sorry about that. The Healing Collective, and she's going to tell us how all her services and her theories, her what she can do that will impact you and your clients. And so, Courtney, please take it away. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm sure you are so tired of hearing my name through all the new emails and all the introductions. My name's Courtney Crossan. I am the owner of the Healing Collective. I do have a little PowerPoint presentation. It's less for your eyeballs and more for my train of thought. So I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind. Assuming I know how to do this without having any fires. All right, can everyone see that okay? We're good? Awesome. So this is about somatic experience and body work. There will be a lot of trauma talk, just so you know. I work in trauma adjacent therapy because I'm not a therapist. I'm a body worker. But a lot of the work that I do is around embodiment and how trauma has affected our physical state, okay? Just so you guys are all aware. I have done my best to take out any kind of triggers out of the presentation, so you will not be seeing those words. However, I might give a couple of examples that could be a little triggering. If for some reason you find yourself getting activated, agitated, just take time for yourself, do whatever you need to kind of adjust and come back when you feel a little better, okay? This is just the structure of what you're gonna be seeing and hearing. So the intro is gonna be who I am. We'll have a little bit of a exercise, and that's just because I figured in the amount of time that I'm given today, it's easier for you to understand the work that I do if you get a chance to experience it versus me just giving you a bunch of words. Then we'll do a little bit of learning that's just kind of me explaining how the process works. And then the end resources are more or less my contact information. And if you're looking for more information around somatic experiencing. Who am I? Again, I'm not going to say my name. That's just way too much. But I am a local. I am from Bloomington, Illinois. Have been here the majority of my life, with the exception of some college. I went to UIUC in Champaign, and then I moved to Florida for a little bit. Greatest time of my life. We don't need to talk about it. And now I'm back. So I am a licensed massage therapist. I'm also a Reiki practitioner. I am a somatic experiencing practitioner. And I also am a trauma-focused yoga instructor. So it's a lot of letters that no one ever knows what they mean after my name. But all of those modalities help to influence and help me navigate helping people and supporting them through healing their own trauma and how their body's showing up in that. And that's what somatic body work is, right? We are taking time to really investigate and explore what's happening in the body, what's triggering you, and what your body is trying to tell you when you're experiencing those things. All right. And this experiential work that we're about to do, the exercise to calm any anxiety that might be showing up, we are not going to be doing a trauma exercise. Okay. So we're not going to be talking about trauma in that way. This is going to be something lighthearted, something relatively easy for most people. And it could take about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how we move through it. Okay. The first rule is always take care of yourself first. This is completely optional. If you don't want to do it, don't. There's no gold star at the end of this for you. So I'll never be any the wiser, okay? The second part is if it feels uncomfortable to do this exercise, there is potential of you closing your eyes or looking around your space. As we do that, if it feels uncomfortable and you like a little more privacy, now would be a great time to turn off your camera, okay? If you're okay with people seeing you or maybe experiencing you or witnessing you as you go through the exercise, you can feel free to leave it on. And if you get into it and you're like, nope, this camera needs to go off, then turn it off halfway through. But first, we're going to start with just a body scan. Okay, so if you want to turn off your camera, go ahead and do that. If you want to leave it on now, that's fine. You'll really only be hearing my voice and potentially a train that's close by that makes its way through. So please ignore that if you hear it, okay? But the first thing we do is just a body scan. What does that mean? In the environment you're sitting in right now, I want you to just take a couple moments to kind of start at the top of your head, maybe move down the front of your body and the back of your body to just notice any discomfort or sensation that might be showing up. Maybe you have some tightness in your jaw. Your shoulders might feel a little higher than normal. Some low back discomfort. Maybe you find yourself touching places on your body that are a little sore or need some more movement. And we're just kind of doing a quick check-in. How's my breathing right now? How am I actually feeling if I were to objectively look at my body? And so just giving some time for you to think and notice. There will be a lot of pauses on this, which can be uncomfortable for some people, but know that that's just giving time for things to sink in. Now, if you've chosen to close your eyes already, which is fine, I'm going to ask you to open them, and that's just to do a little orienting. And what orienting is I want you to glance around the space that you're in, whether you're at work or at home, and see if you can find something that catches your eye that feels relatively pleasant, right? Maybe it's something you're wearing, a texture that feels good, a picture, some light coming in through a window, something on your screen. And as you notice that thing, just notice what happens to your system as you start to maybe settle a little bit more, because we're coming into a space with a lot of people, a lot of information. And then again, either with your eyes open or closed, whichever feels more comfortable for you, I want you to think of a person, a place, or a thing that you feel the most like your authentic self around, the most relaxed, settled, at ease. Maybe it's a location on the beach. Maybe it's petting an animal that you have, being with a loved one, being completely by yourself. Whatever comes to mind. But as you focus on that, and you have that image, I really want you to see it as if it's currently existing. And bring in as many senses as you can. What do you see? What are you wearing? What do you notice in the room or off in the distance? What do you hear or smell, taste or feel? Bring all of these things, gather all of this information, and really let that sink into your body. And as you do this, what do you notice? Maybe you feel some warmth or fluttering or vibration. Maybe there's a relaxation happening in a place where you noticed discomfort previously. Your shoulders are sitting a little bit lower. Maybe you can feel the chair, the seat underneath you. You feel a little more connected. Maybe you don't notice anything, and that's fine too. We'll just give you another minute or so. And when you feel ready, we're going to start to ease back into the space. What does it mean to ease back into it? You've chosen to close your eyes. Slowly let your eyelids open to take in a little bit more light. And if your eyes are open, maybe looking around your room again and connecting to the thing that caught your attention at first. And really giving yourself some time to just sit in the space that you're in and notice how your body feels now. If there is any difference between how you started and where you're ending. And I'm going to continue with the presentation. You can feel free to leave your cameras off, or you can come back on if that feels comfortable for you. But that was the experience, right? That was the exercise. Super easy, hopefully easy, right? But that gives you a little taste of the work that somatic bodywork is, right? And somatic experiencing. It is giving your body a chance to orient and to ground and to take in information, and then the awareness that comes from that information, right? In order to integrate it into your day-to-day life. So what if you could use that every time you notice yourself, your stress level creeping up a little bit? What would it be like to maybe take a minute or two to be like, oh yeah, I'm at the beach. I smell the water. I can feel the sun. I'm wearing my favorite bathing suit, right? I have a tea or something in my hand, right? What would it be like to incorporate all of that in just 1 or 2 minutes and then come back into the vibrancy of your world and see if that makes a difference, right? So in learning how it works, besides the exercise, trauma is, some of you, I shouldn't say us, I'm not a therapist, work in trauma, right? You're counselors, you're therapists, you work in nonprofits, you have a good idea of what it is. It really is anything that is too much or too little for your system. That's it. There's nothing really huge about that, but the effects can be really long lasting, right? And just as a side note, because this is just such a quick kind of presentation, I'm not going to dive into like the really difficult stuff, but I do want to recognize that pervasive threats, systemic oppression, stuff like that is huge and makes a huge difference in how we internalize and act out, right? How we respond to just our day-to-day activities. If you experience racism or poverty, right? Those are huge contributing factors. And so I want to acknowledge that before I get into trauma, so you know I'm not kind of glossing over it. The polyvagal theory, we're not going to dive huge into it, but I want to give you a visual. It's just the quick chart. This seems it's loud and overwhelming, yes. But this is to capture your attention, right? The green at the bottom is the place that you want to be most often, right? That's the social engagement. That's your ventral vagal. That's where you're like hanging out with your friends. You're having a good time. You don't notice any threat. You're pretty much at ease and in the present. Then something happens, right? And you spike up a little bit. You go towards fight or flight, right? That's your sympathetic nervous system kicking in. And you might notice your heart rate increases. Maybe you have like some clamminess or sweat happening. And that's hitting the gas on your nervous system, right? That's like we are movement, that's go, 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 right? We're trying to fight our way. We're trying to get away from something. That's where that lives. Then I guess when you go really high, you get into the dorsal vagal. And that's when immobility happens, right? A lot of depression, shame, hopelessness. That's when your dorsal vagal is activated. That is just a full break, right? We can't handle this. We are completely overwhelmed. We're going to shut down to conserve our energy and our resources, right? And there's this little place in between the freeze that you can see right below, like between the yellow and the red. And that is the equivalent of having the gas on and the brake on at the same time. There's a lot of energy to move, but the brake is not allowing you to do so. So people that are usually in a chronic state of depression, something like that will have this undercurrent, right, of energy, but know where to put it, right? So that's just kind of a quick visual on what happens when we get activated. So the first thing that we do with that is the goal is to get to the root, right? We can put out the brush fires and say, okay, you have this crappy relationship, or you don't like your job, or you were in a car accident. But usually we're trying to get to the root of the problem. And so in doing that, the first thing we're going to do is what you experience, a little bit of orienting, right? We're going to get you accustomed to the space that you're in. And that's to provide the most safety that we can, okay? As we do that, we're resourcing at the same time. We're helping you to find areas that you feel most comfortable, where you have the most support. Who are the people that you have around you that are supportive? What do you like to do? What are hobbies? What are good coping mechanisms that you're already using, right? In order to deal with this chronic state of stress that you're in. Also, easing from the external to the internal. So that's looking around and noticing, okay, there is no threat in this room. Even though your body might feel it, you can see it. And we're not, we're trying to link the two between the brain and the body, but that's not an easy process for a lot of people. So how do we see that there's no threat? How do we notice how we feel? And can we get those things to match up? Okay. It's all about comfort. It's really about what is nice and cushy for you, so that when you start to get activated and agitated, we can bring that in and say, hey, remember this thing? Your body does have a sense of balance, does have a key point to touch into. Next is slowing down. This is like the most difficult part, honestly. We all bypass everything, right? We're running to work. We run into somebody we don't really care for. We don't acknowledge we don't care for them. We're just like, oh yeah, there's that person, hate them, keep going, right? Like we don't give ourselves time to really sit with any of our emotions. What is our body experiencing? Why do we have this like feeling of anxiety in our chest, right? Why are we clenching our jaw so hard right now? Why are my glutes clenched to the end of the world, right? There's all these things that are constantly happening in our system that are feeding us information that we don't give ourselves enough time to slow down and really acknowledge. So the process of somatic work is slowing down to a place that is usually very uncomfortable for people, in order to allow us the time to really say, oh, wait, if we stop right there, what are you noticing? What happens? What are we typically bypassing that if we paid attention to could dissipate a little bit, right? It's a lot of titration or microdosing the nervous system. We give little teeny tiny bits of things that activate us, and then we bring it out and say, oh, but also you know how to deal with this. And as we take little bites and come back to a place of regulation where we feel kind of that green area, right? Then our body becomes more acclimated. It can notice when there's a real threat versus when we just feel something that could be threatening that might be historical or has happened in our past, right? And all these things I do in individual sessions and in yoga classes. I do teach a trauma-focused restorative yoga class in my space. And we do all of this stuff with it. It is introduction into the space itself, where the bathroom's at, where the door is at, where are all the props in case you need to get up and move around, right? That's the orienting. It's sitting with your body, getting rooted into the floor. That's the grounding. It's the slowing down. We move really slowly. We sit in positions a little bit longer so you can give your body a chance to recognize what it's like to be there. And also, if you've gone too far and you need to come back, right? The last thing that happens there is the body awareness. What is it like to listen to your system? How is your body actually responding to the input? Is there time for you to sit with it? Or do you need to kind of package it up and wait till you get to a more safe space or a later time to unpack it there, right? What is it like to know the difference between a trauma response to something? I'm triggered, this is triggering, i.e. me speaking in public, I hate it, this is not great. But what is it like to know if something is a trauma response versus when there is an actual threat. You know, if your smoke alarm is constantly going off, how do you know if there's actually smoke, right? So we're teaching discernment at a really slow and even pace so that people can learn what their boundaries are, so people can learn how to understand what they actually need and to be able to make those decisions for themselves. How that happens in yoga is we come in and out of posture. So if you're lying on your back and I ask you to roll onto your side, how do you know when you've gone too far? Your shoulder hurts, right? If I say they're too long, I don't like it. Okay, come back a little bit. Don't go so far into the posture that you're hurting, right? What is it like to ease yourself into that thing and say, oh, this might be too much, right? And then to find a place that feels more comfortable. Those are boundaries, right? That is the felt sense of boundaries. And then finally, there's integration. Integration is the goal. That is being able to move to a place of what we call containment. And what that is your ability to tolerate emotions and sensations and energy states without acting out or dissociating, et cetera, right? That's how do you create a space that's big enough for yourself that you can have all your emotions in there without it really disrupting your lived experience. This isn't about, I don't know, cleansing the world and your environment, right? Because life always happens and you can't control the majority of things. But you can control when you decide to engage or disengage and what is best and healthiest for you. And so learning the difference between a yes and a no for yourself and what that feels like internally can help you interact with your external world in a way that feels more palatable, easier, and more connected. Staying cognitively online, that's really a huge one that a lot of my clients have is something happens and you kind of check out. Or you get so angry that you're like, I don't know what I said, right? You were completely gone despite going through the motions, right? This work helps you to stay cognitively online, to say, oh, I'm making a decision about this. This is the thing I want to share. I need to walk away, right? Instead of just storming out of a room, you can say, I'm going to need a couple minutes and you can leave, right? It helps create better relationships, longer lasting connections, and helps you interact with others in a way that feels good for you and typically good for them, right? Yeah, so all this work, I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. The wrapping up of it is, this is a really slow process. It takes a long time because we're not just working with the surface level stuff, like, you know, it's the job change. It's the feeling of stability of not having a job and then finding a new job, right? What happened underneath that? So it's my job to recognize the patterns of why do these things keep showing up, even if they're showing up in a variety of ways, or maybe you don't recognize there's any connection between them. And it's my job to say there is a connection and your body's been telling you about it every single time because your body is always in the present moment. It's always responding as if it's happening right now, even if you're thinking about the past, or if you're thinking about the future, right? We can deal with it as if it's happening right now because that's how our bodies work. And so by healing that, by acknowledging, which is usually all it is, and dissipating the energy, then we can move past that. You can say, oh yeah, this is how I used to feel. This is how I am now, right? So it's a slow process. You know, it's the trauma onion, you know, as you find one thing, there's a whole nother layer and you're like, oh, we're going to this now, right? It just keeps opening up and opening up, you know, and there's that, there's a great analogy that someone gave, I think my therapist gave it to me once, where they said that trauma and healing is not a staircase, right? You're not going up, 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 up. It's more like a spiral staircase where you're going in this direction, where you might come to the same point again, but you're coming at it from a little bit different perspective, right? You have more information, more knowledge. So you're working your way up, right? In this direction versus this way. It's less linear. So yeah, so this is my contact information. There is a website for the somatic experiencing. It's thetraumahealing.org. SE101 is just kind of, there's some videos on there. There's a little bit of a description about the work that is done. There's my website address, thehealingcollectivellc.com. If you need to contact me for anything, there's my email for work and then my cell phone number. you can call, text, whatever it is if you need anything. And that's it. I don't know if I remember how to get out of this. Oh, you're muted, Michelle.
At the very top, it usually says stop sharing.
I see a, oh, no, that's not it. There's a resume. Oh, there it is. Got it. Perfect.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was very relaxing to me, and I think it would be interesting to see what your blood pressure is before you do that and after, because I felt the benefit of just those few minutes. So I mean, I can see that was not something that I would have ever done, and that was very eye-opening for me. So that's great. That's great. I can see where a lot of people would benefit. So thank you very much for doing that.
My pleasure. And I know that we're running a little, I know you like to be done by 12:30, but if there's any questions, Shannon,
Right.
you might have
Mhm.
had one. I'm open to answering those, or you can put it in the chat.
I was kind of curious how you work in tandem with people who are maybe seeing like an EMDR therapist. Do you kind of encourage people to explore like multiple like therapy practices, or do you tend to prefer people who are just working with you initially, or, you know, is it kind of more like a, can we do, or do you see people that are doing other things as well, or do you feel that kind of clashes?
No, all over the place. I always think the more people on your healing team, the better. I get a lot of my referrals from therapists and counselors. I always suggest people get into EMDR if they have any curiosity around it. And I find that people doing talk therapy, really, this is a great complementary practice, right? Because it's coming at you from your brain and the content and narrative around the stories that you have about your experiences, while also giving your body a chance to dissipate and process the same information. And most people that I see have been in therapy for a long time and kind of hit that wall. They're like, I don't know if there's anything else I can get out of this. And so they come see me for a little bit and they're like, oh no, now I have this new invigorated way of connecting to myself. And they can bring that back into their therapy, right? With their actual professional. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, cool. I'm going to turn off my sound then. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's
You.
great.
Really cool.
Very beneficial. And Courtney, if you put your contact information in the chat also, then people can grab that if they missed it from your presentation. I am going to go through and call on people. I would love to hear more about what's going on in your agency right now, any updates. And just to let you know, we are really wanting to focus on trying to give everyone plenty of time to give their agency reports. And we were looking, if there are 20 people and we stop at 12:30, that only gives everyone a minute and a half to give their agency report. So just be mindful of what the other people wanting to give their agency reports also. So I see Angie says she has no reports. Shannon Garlock, can we start with you?
Sure. We don't have anything really going on. We are needing to look for a new BH specialist as Tasha has left. So that is posted out on our website. And we are just working on community nonprofit grants and searching for the public and just internal initiatives and external initiatives. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much. And then Shannon Tarkowski. Life's Ill.
Yes, I'm Shannon Sarkowski. I am the independent living advocate here at LifeSill. For those who don't know, we serve people with all kinds of disabilities and their families from throughout the whole life cycle. I will probably be the one you would get if you called, because I just need information on center services and they send people to me. I wear a lot of hats, and let's see, our agency also has a low vision program for seniors 55 and older. So if you have a someone 55 or older, I don't like that they call those seniors already. If you know someone that's having trouble with vision, macular degeneration, cataract, something, tell them to call LifeCell, ask about the vision program, they'll get to the right person. And then we're always looking for PAs, personal assistants. The rate just went up to 17, maybe, and change an hour. So we do have like an orientation program here that teaches people about that, and then they can be on our referral list. So they can call and ask about the PA program and get over to Vicky if you have people looking for kind of extra on the side, maybe just a few hours to many hours, depending on your clients. But we're here.
Thank you, Shannon. And Darla, want to welcome you for Faith in Action. What can we do for you today?
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that we do have our annual report completed, and we gave 10,600 rides to people in 2022. So that was delivered by 315 volunteers. So they spent a lot of time. And if we put a dollar amount on the volunteer time that was devoted to our care receivers, it's $291,000. So they're really making a difference in the lives of the seniors, which is wonderful. So we're looking forward to getting a new year started here.
Yeah, Faith in Action is a real treasure for our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Celeste, welcome, Children's Home and Aid.
Hi, my name is Celeste. I work at Scott Learning Center for Children's Home and Aid. I'm kind of stepping in for Ann McDowell. She had just recently retired, so she is kind of handing off all of the orgs that she was part of to other team members. I guess just kind of I'm here to see what you guys are doing and how I can help and how I can participate.
Great, thanks, Celeste. Jennifer, ECI-AAA.
Hello, this is Jennifer with the Area Agency on Aging. I'm just here to get community updates and make sure I stay up to date. I don't have anything new for you guys today, but I definitely enjoyed the presentation today. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Kiki? I don't hear you, but I know Kiki has some news, so. I can't hear Kiki, but she is making a move, and so be looking for some information coming from her. I hate to give her news, but if she puts it in the chat that I can, I will. But be looking for something from her on her new move. Andrea Ogborn.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi.
I haven't been to this group for a long time, so thank you everybody for being here. I work for the Family Community Resource Center in Bloomington. We are a family advocacy and community resource linkage center. So we have a lot of things coming up, I guess, for this year. I just started recently doing parenting classes one-on-one for individuals who are involved with DCFS, parents who are involved with DCFS. And I am going to be training to do another parenting instruction soon. So I'll be able to open that up to classes instead of just one-on-one. So I'm really excited because that's going to fulfill a need that we have in this community. And otherwise, I don't really have anything else to share. But if anybody wants any more information about our organization or like what we do here, please feel free to reach out. I can put my email in the chat if that's acceptable.
Please do. Anybody that would like to do that, you're more than welcome to do that. Give a little bit of information about what's available through you. That would be helpful too. Rachel, Ben.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Ben, and I am the new Central Illinois Area Health Education Centers Director. I'm taking over this position from Sharon Mills, who retired at the beginning of the year. So I don't really have any updates at this point. I just wanted to hop on and get to know all of you and see kind of what's going on in the community as I'm learning more about this role.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alicia?
Hi, y'all. For those who don't know me, I am an advocate at Stepping Stones. We don't have any agency updates other than we're doing our trainings right now for a 40-hour. We offer sexual assault services to survivors of sexual assault. So if you have anybody who has that in their history, refer them our way and we'll help them out.
Great. That's wonderful. Hillary, I see your information's in the chat.
Yes, Hillary Pasha, Executive Director of One Hope Project, and One Hope Project helps people with eating disorders. And I don't have I have a ton of updates, but we don't have time for that because I do apologize. It's been quite some time since I've been able to come to these meetings just because I have been insanely busy. But I did leave my part-time job to give my full focus to One Hope. And so, you know, trusting God with that, with finances and time. So there's lots and lots of updates, but more than anything, just letting you guys know that the other changes will be coming, hopefully some various support groups, hopefully a ribbon cutting soon where we'll get to invite you guys to see the new space, things like that. So I'll keep you up to date. And I did put my email in the chat. We did get some updated brochures with our location and phone number and stuff. So if you want those or want to know more information about One Hope Project, feel free to shoot me an email. But yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Jessica Jackson.
Oh, so much good news today. I
It
love
is.
this. So I'm Jessica Jackson. I work for Heartland Community College in the Counseling Center. Our former director, Faye Freeman Smith, retired. And so our new director is Camille Springer. So if you all know her, definitely wish her congratulations. And then I just wanted to put out about Courtney that she also does trauma-focused yoga at different locations. And so she is coming to Heartland next month to do our restorative yoga for our students. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
All I got.
That's great. Very good. And why don't we stick with the Jessica theme and go with Jessica Martin.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, my voice is crackling a little bit here. We do not currently have any major agency updates. I can say that our 10th annual Drive Out Domestic Violence Golf Outing will be happening on June 5th at Crestwood Country Club. So we're still in the starting stages, but we've got a lot of stuff ready to go. So I can send out flyers and sponsorship information if anybody is interested or would like to share it with their agency or people they may know. We're looking for full sponsors, anybody who would like to just make a donation, anybody who would like to donate an item or a service for our silent auction is all greatly appreciated. So I can put my email in the chat as well if anybody has questions, and I can forward the flyers and everything to the group when we're all done.
Very good. Very good. And I do see that Kiki said she was available to talk now. So Kiki, take it away. Tell us your news. Or there you go.
Hey. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kiki Towns. I'm at the Bloomington. I work for the Bloomington Housing Authority. I am the ROSC coordinator. We do not currently have any updates for our program, but I am excited to let you all know that I will be transitioning to a new position over at the Salvation Army, a position that I'm no stranger to. I used to work for the Salvation Army and work in the Pathway of Hope and CHP program. And so I'm excited to say that I will be starting back with this agency as of January the 16th of 2023, and sad to leave my very, very close and inspiring partner in agency, the Bloomington Housing Authority.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Kiki. That's a big blow for the Bloomington Housing Authority, but Salvation Army is very lucky to have you. And I know we will still be working with you, so very excited for you, for us all. Mitchell, Project Oz.
Hi, everyone. My name's Mitchell. I am a street outreach coordinator with Project Oz. This is my very first meeting. So I think it was a very good meeting for my first time, very relaxing. As far as agency updates go, we do not have any as of right now. Thank you.
Very good. And Chris Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm Chris. I'm with the Path Crisis Center. We don't have any real news on our end right now. It's just report season, and we've got accreditation stuff working on, and so all sorts of stuff to take care of. But yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. We do also with the new semester. I haven't confirmed this, but I imagine we're probably looking for volunteers for the spring semester for 211. So if you know of anyone who might be interested in that, have them reach out to us as well, I suppose.
Great, thank you. And Dawn.
Hello, everyone. I don't want to take much of your time. I'm here on Sherry Harris's behalf of Health Alliance. I will be excitingly acquiring her territory in Bloomington to represent Health Alliance. And I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you. And I'm absolutely humbled and inspired already, just listening to the impact all of you have in your communities there. It's quite a noble role all of you have. And I too am very relaxed. I did not realize I was going to be able to a benefit out of this, at least a physical and spiritual benefit. So thank you for that. But I look forward to getting to know you all in the months ahead.
That's great. Thank you and welcome. And Rebecca Phillips.
Hi, I'm actually with Children's Home and Aid as well, on the same team as Celeste. So I don't have any other updates besides just checking it out after Anne left. So thank you.
And be sure and tell Dorothy Davis hello from us. We miss her today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And Courtney, did you have anything last minute for your update that you would like to give?
I do. In the work starting this March, I'll be teaching yoga workshops that are specific to shared experiences. So think sexual assault and trans youth, racial and ethnic trauma. They're going to be specific so that they are people learning how to be in their bodies around people they feel most comfortable around, right? So those will start this March. And just keeping a lookout on the website for those. It'll be under the yoga header.
That's great. I have some ideas for that too, so I want to talk to you about that. For me, I get to give a little report too. Did I get everybody else? I think I did. I was trying to keep track. On the 11th, tomorrow night, ROSC, he is a spoken word artist. He is going to be online. I encourage you to go. I Googled him because I was not familiar with his work. He has a beautiful voice, and his work is very inspiring. Not like anything I had heard before. And so he will be online through the library tomorrow. And then we're having a meditation workshop through the library on the 12th. And then on the if that works, both of those calming things work for you, this may be a trigger. We are going to be talking about reducing robocalls on the 24th. And if you go to that one, you may see me there because that's one of my pet peeves, and that gets my heart rate up. So that's going to be a good one. Does anybody have any last minute things you wanted to add or conversation that you wanted to just end us off with? No.
Happy New Year.
Yes, I appreciate you all being here. It means a lot to me. I think that I'm looking forward to what we can do this next year. We have some great things coming up. Jessica Jackson has gotten us some great programming already set up. And so it's a good team, working hard. Send anything you need to hand it out to Shannon. And we will get that sent out. Shannon Tarkowski. Don't send it to Shannon Garlock. She would be very confused. But Shannon Tarkowski, and that's a great tool so that we don't mass email each other too much. So anything else, just let us know. One of us. Oh, Shannon, did you have something?
I just wanted to let people know, emails may come from Shannon at LifeCell or S. Tarkowski at LifeCell. And I know we're working on McLean County IL.gov. We were having some problems with their server rejecting my mass emails. So if you feel like I should have gotten something from HSC, you might just reach out directly to me. I have been trying to reach out individually if I do get a bounce back, like the server thought it was spam. So it is happening in some cases. So
yeah. And I just checked everybody. Miraculously, there was no one that hopped on the old Zoom. So you all made it to the new Zoom link that Courtney set up. And so we will be continuing that. That will be recurring. So be sure and put that in your calendars for this next year. Okay, thank you. I'm going to give you just a few minutes back and go have you a nice lunch and a nice afternoon.
I hope everyone has a fabulous 2023.
Yes.
I love seeing Miss Jackson's smile. I almost said something else, but I don't know everyone.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, Angie, what's going on with you? You didn't give an update, but what was it?
Because for McLean County, normally someone comes on. I'm over statewide. So I was like, can I give an update for my counseling aspect, Evergreen Coaching and Counseling?
I think
Taking
so.
clients.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's important. Yeah, you're representing both.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what I figured. So I might actually attend these because I love all of you fabulous humans.
We would
from the
miss
aspect
you.
of PC in the community.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes.
I think that's great.
I just feel so much better just hearing your smiles and feeling your smiles. Jessica, you always warm my heart. Michelle, Shannon too, Courtney, we're gonna have to get some lunch going.
For real.
Yeah, let's get it going on. I'll set up the doodle poll.
Yes, yeah. And
no, we're just going for
Kiki-
Indian food. So raise your hand if you want that.
Yeah.
Angie and I were like trying to plan this for what, 3 months now?
I
love food.
I went to Aroma, which did a buffet Indian food. Oh my gosh, it was great. It was wonderful. So, and they were doing a whole renovation of their restaurant. So,
ooh,
okay.
It's
Where's that one?
It's down. Do you know like where Carpet Weavers is?
Yeah, El Dorado Drive.
Yeah, right there. So
gotcha. Cool.
Does anyone have a day of the week? If I have everyone like for 30 seconds, Jessica, Shannon, Courtney, Michelle,
everybody.
Join, Kiki.
Yeah, Jennifer, come on.
Jennifer,
let's
yeah,
do it.
I'm not.
Andrea.
I include everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone's included.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
As long
for
as you're
lunch?
cool. Just kidding.
Are you talking about for a meetup, like a lunch?
Yeah, lunch and
Oh.
organic conversations.
Yeah, Wednesdays typically work best for me personally, but with enough notice, I can rearrange my schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, with enough notice. Yes.
It's Wednesday the 25th. Is that enough notice?
Of this month?
Well, Wednesdays, actually, I literally see clients from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. And I'm trying to build that practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Wednesday's
this
like the
month,
only day that
Tuesdays and
works
Fridays.
best.
this month I'm wide open any day, anytime, because I don't go back to work until February.
I wish we could go where Courtney is right now and we could meet up there at her little
Yeah,
cabin.
in the woods.
In the woods.
Yes, I love it. We have a
Beautiful.
deck just like the wood on the inside and enclosed. I love that vibe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can just breathe better just looking at your environment.
Luxury.
I was like, is that your space downtown? It's so pretty. I didn't realize.
No,
Indiana.
Yeah, I'm in Indiana right now at an Airbnb. I'd like to come to the woods every 6 to 8 weeks or so to kind of clear my mind. So I've been here for a week.
That sounds so healthy.
It is. Yeah, I feel great. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
My desktop screensaver is the woods in the fall.
Oh,
so.
that's great.
Human Service Council retreat. I will join your board just to go to a retreat. I will organize at Lake of the Woods. I just went to a retreat over there not too long. Oh, I love it. And me and Jessica have that Colorado and Nolans thing in common. So,
So Friday the 20th.
Friday the 20th.
I can hold on a second. Let me get my actual calendar.
Or is that what we said for lunch?
I can do 11 o'clock. Yep. I might just have to step out a little bit earlier, but I can do 11.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Ooh, Jessica, I can't wait to get caught up with that new directorship going on.
Yeah, I'm excited for Camille, and I want her to have a nice celebration for, because it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and she well deserved.
Yeah.
I just reached out to Christina Sanborn today because she was named the Dean of Adult Education.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
There are a lot of changes right now.
Yeah, I just was on the Heartland website and that came scrolling past. I was like, what? So,
Lots of changes.
mhm.
I said lunch with Michelle, Jessica, Courtney, and Shannon. Where are we going,
And
ladies?
Jennifer. And Jennifer's still on here.
You said at 11 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay.
On the 20th. Oh my gosh, that worked so well. How did that happen?
Yep, January 20th. And anyone have any vibes for anything you've been craving? Any food allergies or anything we should stay away from?
I can eat anywhere.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I've really been wanting to go to Rosie's.
Let's do it.
What kind of food do they have? Is it just kind of bar food?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a great shrimp salad. They
A
have,
reservation for 6?
yep.
Okay.
Jennifer, are you in for this luncheon?
No, I'm not. Thank you.
Please, you're welcome.
And you can still make a reservation for 6 and we'll find a friend.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Courtney, how do you say your name? Is it Courtney? And is it 3
yeah.
syllables or 2?
3.
Okay.
All 3.
I
And
was
say it
hearing
like you're
Michelle and I'm
French.
like, I think she's doing 3. I wanted to check.
Yep.
I love how you asked the syllable question. That's a great way to ask that.
My
I
best
love
friend in Chicago was Deirdre.
that.
So
Oh.
Deirdre, but Deirdre. So I'm like,
Deirdre.
I'm seeing this here. I'm like, Courtney. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thanks for asking.
Great way to ask
Well,
it.
I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing everybody there.
Me too. Me too.
Well, Friday, see how we do. We get that on lockdown.
I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
later.
And
Bye. See you